and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Karaba Avenue with me, Ansumana Iswanyase. Here are the main news headlines. The first official flight of the tourism season arrived today. Senior UN officials have reaffirmed the organization's commitment to transforming food systems for improved food and nutrition security in the Gambia. The Gambia government and the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF joined the rest of the world to commemorate the International Day of the Girl Child. The Gambia Association of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing commemorated the International Week of the Deaf at the association's headquarters in Kanifing. And in sports news, the Gambia's AFCON 2025 qualifying campaign is still failing to spark into life. They played out a 1-1 draw against fellow group A strugglers Madagascar in Morocco. Well, stay tuned as we bring you more on these and other stories. Now, with a vibrant celebration of culture and hospitality, the Gambia Tourism Board welcomed the first flight of the 2024-2025 tourism season at the Banjul International Airport with 175 tourists on board the Gambia Experience enter flight from the United Kingdom. Here is an excerpt.
The arrival of the Gambia Experience enter flight from the Gatwick International Airport in London officially opens the 2024-2025 tourism season with an estimated number of over 200,000 tourist arrivals from the Scandinavian and European countries. Is this your first time coming to the Gambia?
It's her first time, my eighth.
From the airport, most tourists are heading straight to their hotels in the tourism development area. As you could see, most of them moving around, carrying their bags, heading straight to their hotels.
Now we'll bring a fuller report with exclusive interviews in tomorrow's bulletin. Now, on Thursday, senior UN officials reaffirmed the organization's commitment to transforming food systems for improved food and nutrition security in the Gambia. Their remarks came during a day-long National Investment Forum that gathered investors, Ministry of Agriculture officials, and various partners. More in this report. The event brought together stakeholders from the private sector and government representatives to stimulate innovation and dialogue, exploring investment opportunities through public-private partnerships for sustainable outcomes. This follows the launch of several frameworks aimed at achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by transforming agri-food systems to eradicate poverty, end hunger and malnutrition, and promote positive investment returns. Mosibudi Rampedi, FAO country representative, emphasized that collaboration is vital for sustainable economic growth and the commercialization of agricultural commodities. She referenced the FAO's hand-in-hand initiative, which supports the implementation of nationally led programs like SDG 1, SDG 2, and SDG 10. While underscoring the importance of Thursday's gathering, she reaffirmed the UN's commitment to supporting the Gambia's national efforts for meaningful transformation in the agricultural sector.
If we use the hand-in-hand initiative, we can raise incomes, we can improve nutritional status, and we can also address the well-being of vulnerable populations. And similarly, we can also strengthen resilience and adapt to climate change.
Ndero Sar, who represented the UN resident coordinator, noted that the forum provides a platform for the government to showcase investment opportunities to investors and seek new partnerships. While highlighting the necessity of private sector involvement in food systems, she also emphasized the UN's steadfast support for the agricultural sector.
By providing support to minimize investment risk and investment to optimize benefits, the UN aims to align agri-food systems with emerging markets opportunities, enhance productive capacities, and empower value chain stakeholders to participate effectively in local and international markets.
Gambia's Minister of Agriculture, Livestock and Food Security, Demba Sabali, praised the FAO and partners for creating a platform for dialogue, investment and partnerships. He highlighted the development and implementation of various domestic instruments as evidence of the government's commitment to fostering a thriving agricultural sector. He also encouraged the private sector to invest in agriculture.
The private sector is a key player in ensuring food safety, as it underlies the entire food systems. The majority of foods are produced, handled, processed, distributed, and sold by the private sector, and thus their responsibility to ensure products are nutritious and safe for consumers.
Private sector involvement is crucial for economic growth, especially in the agricultural sector. In a country where a significant portion of the population is employed in agriculture, securing the necessary investment is vital for ensuring sustainable growth. Ansmane Sonyasi for Qtvnews. Now, the Gambia government and the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, joined the rest of the world to commemorate the International Day of the Girl's Child. The day aims to highlight and address the needs and challenges girls face while promoting girls' empowerment and the fulfillment of their rights. Usman Jatta tells us more in this report.
The theme for this year's International Day of the Girl Child, Girls' Vision for the Future, conveys both the need for urgent action and persistent hope, driven by the power of girls' voices and a vision for the future. According to UNICEF, today's generation of girls are disproportionately affected by global crisis of climate, poverty, and pushback on hard-won gains for human rights and gender equality. Ms. Nafisa bin Safiq is the UNICEF country representative in the Gambia.
The decline in child marriage in the past 10 years in some parts of the country and the recent success in preventing the proposed repeal of the law banning FGM sends a signal of hope for the protection of girls from all forms of violence, abuse, and exploitation.
Having addressed gender-based violence, the UNICEF country rep commended the government's investment in education for the girl child.
Girls' enrollment in school has improved, and year after year, girls keep strengthening their attainments. Just this year, 791 girls scored 5 credits and above, including English and mathematics in the 2024 WASE results.
Despite such progress, girls continue to face challenges. Official figures reveal that 1 in 4 young women in the Gambia get married before the age of 18. Additionally, despite being outlawed, 50% of girls below the age of 15 undergo FGM, and many more continue to be denied their basic rights, which includes education and menstrual hygiene products, to name a few. Some blame this trend on inadequate implementation and monitoring of laws which are designed to empower and protect girls. Fatou Kinte, the Gender, Children and Social Welfare Minister, emphasizes the need to amplify awareness campaigns to educate both right holders and duty bearers about girls' rights, and also strengthen government systems to ensure effective implementation and monitoring of existing laws. UNICEF believes it is time to listen to girls and invest in proven solutions that will accelerate progress towards a future in which every girl can fulfill her potential. The United Nations General Assembly adopted Resolution 16170, declaring October 11th as the International Day of the Girl Child as a result of the 1995 Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, regarded as the most progressive blueprint ever for advancing the rights of women and girls. The Beijing Declaration is the first to call for girls' rights. Usman Jatta, reporting for Qtvnews.
Now, on Friday, the Gambia Association of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing celebrated the International Week of the Deaf with the theme Signed Up for Sign Language Rights. The event took place at the association's headquarters in Kanifing. More with Alaji Lamin Funding Dabo.
The International Week of the Deaf is usually celebrated annually during the last week of September, as recommended by the World Federation of the Deaf and recognized by the United Nations. Principal Magistrate Mohamed Kurubali, Chairman of the Gambia Federation for the Disabled, emphasized that the event provides stakeholders in the deaf and hard of hearing community with a unique opportunity to support and protect the linguistic identity and cultural diversity of all deaf and hard of hearing individuals and sign language users.
We will continue to advocate to the relevant stakeholders so that sign language interpretation, and of course with those with hard of hearing, to be employed in offices and reasonable accommodation in the form of sign language interpretation be provided for them, especially in some of the public offices.
Anna Nancy Mendy is the director of the Early Childhood and Inclusive Education Directorate.
As we talk now, the ministry, seeing how important it is, with support from World Bank, has a consultant that is on his way coming to the Gambia tomorrow to help us to have a synchronized sign language, to make sign language accessible for all Gambians and to help produce all curriculum materials in sign language.
Ndela Faikoli, the executive director of Action Aid the Gambia, expressed her organization's ongoing support for GADO.
I also want to use this opportunity to call on all development partners again to come on board and help us to support GADO to continue doing the great work it's doing for deaf people in the community, to be able to give the services being given, but also to be able to support family members, to be able to live harmoniously with their deaf members, because we all know communication is important in every relationship, starting from the home. If you don't understand what the next person is saying, it can create a lot of problems. So we thank GADO for having facilitated all of that, and we really look forward to working with GADO.
Dudu Lum, the executive director of the Gambia Association of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, shared a special message with the public.
Funding becomes more and more hard to achieve funds. The same those who contributed to this, they were in Europe. Some are deaf associations, some are hearing organizations, but they are charity. But still now it's not finished. Now we need about $1 million to finish this phase. When we have this, even the conference hall alone, we can use it. We can use it, our own activities, and to raise funds out of it. We appeal to all organizations, individuals, to support us so that we can, at least when we have no project going on, we can use the funds we got from it to keep us going with that.
It is hoped that events like this will encourage and motivate stakeholders and donors to collaborate closely with GADO. Together, they can explore funding opportunities to enhance and promote Gambian Sign Language. For QTV News, I am Lamin Alai Funding Dabo.
And a report there by Lamin Alhaji Funding Dabo will lead us to the commercial break, but we will be right back.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the future of transportation in the Gambia. The Bertel-Harding Highway, a 22-kilometer double carriageway, is set to revolutionize travel and connectivity in our beloved country. The Bertel-Harding Highway is transforming transportation in the Gambia with new roundabouts and vehicular overpasses. But safety must come first. Standing along the road or at roundabouts to flag down taxis creates unsafe conditions and unnecessary traffic jams. Remember, always board taxis at designated taxi garages or the garas located at major traffic points. Drivers stopping in no stopping zones will be penalized. Let's keep our roads clear and safe. Together, we can ensure a safe and efficient journey for all.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, you're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. With me, Ansmana Isonyase. Now, a number of magistrates and judges have been sworn in recently to improve the speed and efficiency of court cases. In this regard, 4 newly appointed High Court judges were sworn in on Thursday at a ceremony held in Banjul. Amadou Tamba has the rest of the story.
Following the recommendations of the Judiciary Service Commission, 4 new High Court judges, namely Yakar Cox, Omar Cham, Omar Suso, and Sonia E. Akinbiyi, a Nigerian, took their oath. The Judiciary Service Commission is responsible for recommending appointments of judges and magistrates. It also advises the President and the government on measures to improve efficiency. Frederick C. Foster, the Vice President, Gambia Bar Association, applauds these appointments.
The appointment of more judges will address the challenges presented by the large volume of cases currently before our courts, both subordinate and superior. Thus, the more judges we have, the more we are able to tackle the perennial issue of such delays and backlog of cases.
Hussein Tomasi, the Solicitor General and Legal Secretary, congratulated the newly appointed judges and challenged them to live up to the demands of their roles, citing that judges hold a unique place in our society.
Today marks a profound moment in the legal profession, not just for our new judges, but for all of us who believe in justice, fairness, and the rule of law. It is a special occasion. I believe it is the first time in the history of this country, I stand to be corrected, that we are swearing in 3 Gambian judges at one ceremony.
The appointment of these judges will ease the burden in some courts in the country. Hassan B. Jallo, the Chief Justice of the Gambia, welcomes the 4 judges to the bench and wishes them success in carrying out their duties.
The significance of the event today is not just in numbers. The numbers are important. With 4 judges having been sworn in and their assignments of their responsibilities, we expect that we will now be able to strengthen the High Court in Brikama with 3 full-time High Court judges. That's a region where a significant number, as you are aware, of our cases, particularly land cases, emanate from that particular region.
As the appointment comes with expectation and trust, Justice Sonia E. Akinbiyi spoke on behalf of her fellow judges.
We assure, my lords, the entirety of the judiciary of the Gambia, the entirety of the bar, the entire public, that we are poised to serve diligently, transparently, and honestly, bearing in mind the admonition of the holy books, that with what measure that you judge men, so shall you be judged in the hereafter.
The appointment of these judges follows the appointment of 3 High Court judges and 4 magistrates in recent months. It is hoped that these appointments will contribute significantly to the delivery of justice, especially in speeding up the process of dealing with the high volume of cases already before the courts. For QTV News, Amadou Tamba.
Now, participants from 20 African countries, including the Gambia, are currently in the country for a 3-day training which started yesterday of religious and traditional leaders. The event is organized by the African Center for Democracy and Human Rights Studies. Loliam Kamara reports.
The training of these influential religious and traditional leaders, while promoting dialogue and collaboration, will focus on various topics, including conflict resolution, promoting peace and unity, fostering gender equity, and encouraging community development. The event's organizers say that by providing a platform for shared learning, the training will help strengthen the roles of these leaders in guiding and uplifting their communities in a rapidly changing world. In his opening remarks, Professor Nana A.K. Buzik, on behalf of the facilitators, emphasized the importance of engaging religious and traditional leaders in critical social issues.
Religious leaders and traditional rulers whose role in our societies can never be underestimated or can be done only at one peril of the modern state. of the modern state. And therefore, any serious discussion of human rights, any serious discussion of democracy, even peace and security, can never be complete outside them, that is without their buy-in and participation.
The chairperson of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, ACHPR, Remi Ngoy-Lumbi, and ACDHRS Governing Council Advisor, Sadiq Nyas, both speaking through a translator, pointed out that these leaders are instrumental in shaping opinions and influencing behavior at the grassroots level. Also, they said the training highlights the role of religious and traditional figures as critical agents of change, especially in cultural and social norms. Thus, by equipping them with knowledge and skills, they will help to foster a more inclusive and rights-based approach to addressing community challenges. They also thank the government of the Gambia and the organizers for staging such an important event. Over the remaining 2 days, these leaders are expected to engage in discussions and collaborative workshops, sharing their diverse perspectives and experiences to develop action plans tailored to their communities' needs. Safi Sankare Faraji, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, represented her minister.
Venerable religious leaders and traditional elders must never downplay the crucial importance of their summons to their congregations. These messages are powerful tools that can be used to foster unity and togetherness. And by doing so, they help to ensure that the democratic space is guided and protected. And as the Ministry of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, our decentralized governance mandate aligns very closely with the goals of these consultations.
This training comes at a critical time when many African countries are facing challenges related to human rights and social justice. So, by empowering religious and traditional leaders, ACDHRS hopes to contribute to the development of more just and equitable societies in Africa. For QTV Lolly and Kamara.
Now, they have been slammed as the refuge of the lazy and the intellectually corrupt. As the rise of artificial intelligence, AI tools, especially ChatGPT, takes hold among young people, our reporter Lena Igwe visited the University of the Gambia, Kanifing campus, to find out if students are embracing the trend. Is it a tool for development or is it breeding laziness? Let's find out.
This is a new generation. We are changing, and ChatGPT is here to make life easy. You just copy and paste, then submit your assignment.
I feel like it makes me feel lazy, I won't focus, and it makes my brain to relax.
Pause, guilty smiles, and nervous glances around. But let's dig deeper. AI tools like ChatGPT, designed to assist with writing, answering questions, and providing creative solutions, have become a crutch for some Gen Z students. From social media captions to homework and even work tasks, many seem to rely heavily or entirely on this digital assistant. On TikTok, students proudly thank ChatGPT for getting them through graduation, with some even crediting it for saving their lives. But how are students at UTG using it? Aisatu Kamara, a student, discovered ChatGPT through a friend. She shares her thoughts.
She was like, you know about ChatGPT and you are killing yourself, you're wasting your time doing your assignments instead of going to ChatGPT and let it do all the work for you. It's recommended that, but for me, honestly, I don't use it because I feel like it makes me feel lazy, I won't focus, and it makes my brain to relax.
Zina S. Mandy, another UTG student, had a one-time encounter with ChatGPT, but believes it does more harm than good.
It's not an effective way of learning, but it makes a student lazy in a sense that you just go to it and it gives you all that you need, and you're not putting any efforts in making sure that you do your own research. It makes students lazy more than helping them.
Fatima Bampia offers a different perspective. Using the tool for both school and work, she explains that when used wisely, ChatGPT can be a helpful resource.
If you kind of just use it to search and do your research, then try to put it in your own way. Just get the concept and do it on your own way. I don't feel like it makes you like lazy, but I just feel like it depends on how you use it. That's the effect it has on you.
However, others argue that AI fosters intellectual laziness. According to parametric architecture, over-reliance on tools like ChatGPT could erode human creativity, especially in writing, as users become overly dependent on AI-generated content. The rise in the use of these tools raises many questions, such as, is artificial intelligence already replacing human intelligence? And if ChatGPT did the work for you to pass an exam, can you, with a clear conscience, take any credit for the results? This growing habit is already reshaping the way we think and learn. Time will tell whether we master it or become slaves to it. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Igwanyiba.
Quite an impressive piece there, and I'm afraid that's all we have time for. But do join us tomorrow, same time, for more news. Until then, thanks for watching.